My name is Godfrey Mbowe, psychological counselor. Today I want to share with you about management of emotional and psychological challenges among our students, among our pupils, among our children while they are in school. First of all, emotional and psychological problem can affect a child's or student's development and in turn interfere with learning. There are signs that a teacher and a counselor can observe among the children or our students while they are in school. It is important for the teacher or counselor to identify some of the emotional and assist our students in schools or when they show that emotional problems in the class. Some of these problems are poor concentration, restless, sleeping in the class, fatigue, distractions of properties. For instance, those who are pupils, they tend to distract the properties of others once they have emotional problems. Even the students from secondary schools, they tend to show this sign of distracting the properties of others because of the emotional problems. You may think this kid it has a bad behavior, but is being disturbed psychologically. Therefore, is distracting the properties. But another problem is hating and hurting the other students or other pupils in the class. They hate and they hurt them. Why? Because they reflect the psychological problems to these children in relation to those people who did something which hurted them. Therefore, they hurt others. But also, there was a problem of isolating. Once you see the pupils or certain students, they isolate from the others. They have a group work. They have activities in the class, but they tend to isolate. This is very important also to notice. Is a psychological problems. It's one of the problems. These are signs and the problems which you may detect among the group of our students and our pupils. But also they may show the problem of mistrust to adult. They don't trust teachers. They don't trust the school counselor. They don't trust people. These students, they have a psychological or emotional problems. Therefore, you need to probe more. You need to explore more to know why they have this. Now, although fear and the anxiety are a normal part of everyday life, we tend to we come across with different problems. We come across with different problems, with different situations, which makes us to fear, to create or to experience anxiety, to worry about tomorrow, to worry about our future. Now, these situations, it's happened to our life, and we develop fear, and we develop anxiety. It's a normal, most of the time, to part of our everyday life, because it depends with the situation which we come across. We come across with a certain situation, and then we become feared. We experience anxiety, and once you experience anxiety, we need to know this is sometimes a normal feelings. Now, our students should be assisted to live a normal life. This is very important. As much as possible, teacher and counselors should prevent anxiety through assisting our students, assisting our children in schools by impacting coping skills. One of it is assertive skills, to be confident about what they have, to be free to share their feelings. But also you need to do the following as a teacher or school counselor: to identify the cause of the fear, the cause of anxiety. Why I have anxiety. Help the students to identify the causes. And once you identify, these are the cause of my anxiety, and these are the cause of feelings which I have of fear, this you have started to help the students to cope with fear. Once you identify, the problem is when I witness that accident happened 3 days ago. Oh, this is a source of anxiety. I start to fear. When I see the teacher punishing the child or the student with anger, therefore once you witness there was a punishment which offered to some of the student, then you need to know what is the causes of the anxiety, of experiencing of fear inside of me. This is very important, so that you can help the student to live the normal life. Although there was a fear, they need to know why it happened. But also assist the kid, assist the students, assist the pupils to calm down. Calm down. Let him relax. You need to have a techniques of relaxing your students. Calm down. Try to think the causes of anxiety. And try to cope slowly with it. Third one, teachers and counselors in schools, they have to help the kids or the student to cope with fear and anxiety by doing different exercise together in the group. When you run, when you play the football, you play the netball, etc., together in a group, those exercises help the student to cope with fear, to cope with anxiety. But also we as a guidance and the teachers and the school counselors, we need to show love to our students. We need to show empathy. That means we understand what they are passing through, and we are together. You are not alone. We are together. Show them empathy. Show them love. Show them that we are together. But also the teachers and the student, the school counselor should also use the verbal assurance. Verbal assurance, that means you identify what the students, the pupils they have, you encourage them, the good thing they have, you discourage the bad behavior which they have, unwanted behavior, for instance, but you encourage whatever good behavior they have by verbal. Tell them, you are good, you are smart, you are clean today, you did very good the exercise, you do excellence, your homework, do that. Once you do that, you encourage them, they become they become optimistic. They think in a positive perspective. Also, allow and encourage them to share the fears and worries they have, by telling us, telling the teachers why they fear, what happened to them, when they experiencing this fear, for how long they have been experiencing this. Let them share their fears. But also as a counselor and a teacher, you need to challenge the negative thoughts they have. Students and our pupils, they may have a lot of negative thoughts inside because of the situation which they are coming across in their life. Therefore, challenge that negative thoughts without judging. Don't judge that negative thoughts they have, but challenge and know why. As you challenge, you help the students, the pupils to explore, to tell you why they have these negative thoughts. Because negative thoughts always, they increasing the stress, increasing the fear, it's increasing the emotional disturbances inside of them. Therefore, challenge that negative thoughts, negative feelings they have. But also you have to confront the child's fear, but make sure that the environment is well controlled. It's well controlled. While you confronting that fear, you confront by helping the students to tell you how do this student contribute to the problem, the psychological problem or emotional problems. Let them tell you, confront, so that they can explore more. How do they themselves contribute? But also, children and students who are emotionally and psychologically disturbed will often withdraw from the classroom activities. This is another thing we need to observe. And also, they may show the poor relationships with the teachers and other children or other pupils or other students. Now, a counselor, they have to assist by relaxing them through the exercise and other techniques of relaxation, like deep breathing and different exercise like swimming, playing football, indoor activities, group activities. Let them involve in those activities or in those playing. This is very important for them to deal with their emotional and psychological problem. But take time to talk with your parents so that you can know the causes of the psychological or emotional problem. Another technique is storytelling. Let the student tell the story which makes them to be stressed or make them to be emotionally disturbed. Let them telling the story, and by telling the story, they reduce the stress. There was a lot you reduce from inner being of the students. Let them tell the story, and by doing so, they reduce the stress and emotional disturbances. And allow the student to have enough rest. Enough rest, enough sleeping. There was a time of doing activities. In the class, there was a time of relaxation, but also there was a time of sleep. Let them having a good schedule of the activity and enough time to rest, to relax, and enough time to sleep. But to provide quiet environment when you are teaching them, while they are learning. Always should provide a quiet environment. This is very essential because a quiet environment helps them to learn more effective. Allow the student also to share their experiences. The experiences they met, let them share using the different way of sleeping, of playing, using different ways such as playing game, singing song, dancing. This is smoothing their thoughts and reduce stressful thoughts in their inner being. Thank you very much. I think you have learned something on how to help the students who are passing through emotional and psychological problem as a counselor and as a teacher in school. Thank you very much.